The word meta is often misunderstood. A lot of people think that meta is like this arbitrary thing that everybody uses. They're like, oh, if something's meta, it is the thing that everybody uses. But that's not it. Things become meta because they are best suited for what the game needs. Just because something is popular or has a high pick rate, it doesn't make it meta. The meta is things that are best suited to doing what needs to be done. In the case of Dead by Daylight, that would be gens, gen progression, and gen slowdown. The meta is built around, for killers, the meta is built around slowing the survivors down as much as possible. This often means that there are going to be 2 to 3 perks that block gens or add additional regressions to gens, and then 1 or 2 perks, depending on the combination thereof. Obviously, you can only have 4 perks, of trying to catch survivors to spread pressure. For survivors, the meta often devolves into 2 speed perks, normally Hyper Focus and Prove Thyself, and then a couple of perks to help them live longer in chase so that the rest of the team can do gens. But at the end of the day, that is the meta. The meta is gens. Gens are the only important thing in the match, and so that is why all of these perks become meta. And that's why the idea of stomping out a meta or deleting perks that can become meta is not possible. If nothing is meta, everything is meta. If everything is meta, nothing is meta, if that makes sense. The reason why whenever a meta perk gets nerfed into the ground, something immediately pops up to take its place is because that's just how games work. Once the best thing is gone, the next best thing will rise to take its place, and a domino effect down the line of everything rising to take the previous thing's place happens. So in this vein, I think that a lot of people don't understand how good alternative slowdowns are. Anything that provides an additional form of slowing down the generator without directly affecting the generator itself is a good thing. This is why I'm actually partially very appreciative for killers like Sadako, the Pig, and Pinhead, because they are all built around doing alternative and separate tasks in order to slow down the game without directly affecting the generators. Now, these killers probably will bring gen perks here and there, but the point is that built into their kit is an inherent slowdown, and that's a good thing. And I don't really understand why people don't think it is. Like, when I was talking about the unknown, and people were like, oh, I don't want more killers where you have to go on a side quest to get rid of their debuff. Why? I mean, why? Do you want just more killers who can catch you instantly? Like, you want more killers that can hit you from across the map without you being able to do anything about it? Like, what do you mean you don't want more killers that inherent side quests? That's more stuff to do. That's more things to get you away from generators in most of the time engaging ways. It's fun to have to hunt down a chest to get a syringe or a spray when you're facing Wesker and Nemesis. So I think it's really good that we have these kinds of things available to us because it involves something more than sitting holding M1 on gen for 90 seconds and then doing that until the things go brrr, and you go to the gates and hold M wait on the gates for 16 seconds and then you leave. Like, more stuff to do is good. That's why I wish hex perks would get a bit of a buff so they would be an actual fucking threat. And so people would seek them out more. And so it would be actually more fun and interesting in game. Which brings us to Mangled. If you're a fan of audio horror stories, then check out my second channel where I write, voice, and produce my own original stories released every single Sunday so you can go to bed with your creeps at night. Link is in the description. The first thing I want to ask, and I need to know, is who the fuck complained about Mangled? I pride myself in knowing every single minor bitchin' complaint that this community comes up with, because I exist everywhere. You might not think I'm there. You might not think that Kaiser saw this Reddit post, or Kaiser saw this tweet, or Kaiser saw this comment in a thread of hundreds, but I do. I see it all because I'm constantly searching for new video ideas. So I find that I have to be involved with understand how the community feels about certain things. And not once, not one time in 1,300 hours did I hear anyone ever complain about Mangled. Not one fucking time. This is one of those changes that truly baffles me to my core. I cannot think who on the dev team raised their hand and went, hey, players have a problem with Mangled, because nobody ever has. People have found it annoying, but people have also understood its place in the meta. And its place was providing M1 killers with additional slowdown. And other killers who aren't M1 would often have add-ons that would provide that additional slowdown. There is this spiral that I foresee coming where behavior nerfs slowdowns that aren't gen related, and then we end up in a meta where every single build, every single optimal build is just quad slowdown. Quad slowdown, by the way, is not optimal right now. You need other things to help you. Quad slowdown will not help you. It won't help you in chases. It won't help you get information. It won't help with any of that. You need to have actual perk builds. But if behavior keeps nerfing these alternatives to slowdown, then it's going to lead to a really bad part where the perk spread just becomes stale and boring. Now, every single one of those M1 killers who used to run sloppy because it was just that good are now going to start taking sloppy out of their builds because there's no longer the choice anymore. Yeah, sure, Mangled is still an effect, Hemorrhaged is still an effect, but now you just wait for it to be over. Before, you had to make a decision. Do I do generators or do I take the extra time to heal? If I take the extra time to heal, the killer can come and interrupt us while we're healing, and that can end up being very bad for us. But if I don't take the time to heal, then I'll be more vulnerable. Now they're just like, fuck it, let's just do a generator and wait for it to go away. Then when it goes away, you can heal me faster and I won't have to worry about it. So now they basically get the benefit of a syringe. Right? With a syringe, you have to make the choice. Do I do the generator or do I heal? But with the syringe, right? You pop the med kit, you pop the syringe, and then that 22 seconds or 16 seconds or whatever the case may be, you sit on a fucking generator and wait for the syringe to go off. And so you're doing two things at once. Well, this is effectively the same thing. The Mangled change needs to be reverted because it is going to lead to a bad experience for survivors, and it is a nerf that didn't need to be nerfed. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my thoughts. That's why I don't think the Mangled is very good. Of course, as always, I do want you guys to let me know your opinions down below. Before we get to the thanking of the channel members, I also want to let you guys know that coming up starting tomorrow is the week of tier lists. I put a poll out on the community asking you guys if you thought it'd be a good idea to do 7 tier list videos in a row, and you overwhelmingly voted yes. So that is what we're going to be doing next week, starting with a general killer tier list, and then we'll move down the line. So make sure you guys tune in at midnight Monday for that. And I hope you guys enjoy that. If you're wondering about the Rate My DVD, it's still actually going to come out on Wednesday. It's just going to come out at 10 a.m. as opposed to midnight like it normally does. So it'll be 10 hours later. But yeah, that's what's happening this week. I hope you guys enjoy the tier list. I actually have to come up with ideas for 4 more tier lists outside the 3 obvious ones. So we'll have fun with that. But yeah, other than that, as always, I want to thank my channel members for giving me the additional support that they do. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do this full time. So thank you guys so much. And as always, if you want to become a channel member and get perks like seeing videos early and merch discount codes and more, then please click that join button down below. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.